Well, I've got to say, this is an interview I didn't think I would be doing, and quite possibly Mr. Greg Searle, I'm not sure you would be thinking as well. Not an interview with me, but an interview, frankly, with anybody, because it's 2010, and we all saw you winning Olympic gold with your brother in 1992. That's 18 years ago, Greg. Then you got a bronze in 96 in the fours in Atlanta. Then you got a fourth. Should have been a silver.
Or even a gold. Yeah.
In Sydney in 2000. And that was 10 years ago. And then you did the decent thing, because rowing, after all, is not the easiest of sports to do. And you retired. And here we are, aged, how old are you now?
38, sitting here today.
38 years young. You're in the men's eights. About to go to the World Championships in New Zealand. Obvious question, why?
Well, I guess it's an experience that I'm able to relive my youth, I suppose, by being back here, and how many of us wouldn't want to do that? This time around, it is funny because it's 20 years since I first got into the team, because I first got into the team aged 18, and at that time, young kid coming in, surprising yourself with how well you can do, getting to race people who are your heroes and managing to beat them as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old into the 92 games, and then do the ultimate thing and win the 92 games. And what's been so cool about this is that I've been able to do it all again, because I've come back in with, I think, people unsure about what I could do. Here's a guy who's, he was good once, he's technically quite good, but will he be able to get it back physically? Is he still tough enough to do this? And
was that a question you were asking yourself as well?
Absolutely, yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I guess I had a high level of belief that I could get back in and that I would be able to recapture what I had 10 years ago. But there's a difference between having a belief and actually delivering it. And I still haven't delivered it yet. I know this is only a step on the way, but I've been able to make progress all through the year, and I've been like that kid getting in the team again, who's beating people I'm not supposed to, scoring things on the rowing machine I didn't expect to score, and now holding down a seat in the 8, and our 8 doing really well all through this summer.
Well, it's interesting you say, Greg, you haven't really proved anything yet. That's not quite true. I mean, you are, after all, going to the World Championships in the men's 8s, but I guess you're a guy used to winning medals or getting close to winning medals, etc. So even though, well, I guess being 38 is a non-issue as far as you're concerned, so getting in the team is not enough by your standards? No excuses? Age doesn't come into it?
No, I mean, I think once I'm in the boat with everyone else, it doesn't really matter whether you're 38, 28 or 18. You're all there and you're performing, and you need to, we're in there for our merit, for our ability and our speed in the boat.
And you wouldn't want it any other way, of course.
I wouldn't want it any other way, and I'm delighted to be in the team. I'm delighted I'm going to be going back to Auckland, back to New Zealand for the World Championships this year, and preparing for ultimately the Olympic Games. And just to march in the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games will be an amazing thing. But I'm not going there to get the T-shirt. I'm not going to this World Championships just for the kit. I'm going because I think I can be part of a gold medal boat.
Now, you have a gold medal at home somewhere, which is something we'd all like to, frankly, steal if we could. You also got a bronze in Atlanta, and I saw you guys there, and I've never seen a team quite so gutted by winning an Olympic medal. And then obviously you went it's one place, but it's all the difference, and you got fourth in 2000. Now, so the question is there somewhere in the back of your mind a little bit of, I don't know, unfinished business? There shouldn't be, because you're a champion, but is there a little bit of dissatisfaction still?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, because when I stopped rowing the first time, I was very comfortable with the decision. I was very happy with it, and I think it's only the fact that London has the Games in 2012, which makes it very special to go for, and then add to the fact that actually, now that I'm 38, it's that much harder, that makes the goal such an exciting, stretching, challenging thing to do, which I think is the thing that gets me out of bed in the morning. So to have just carried on and just done the Athens Games and maybe done the Beijing Games might have felt more of the same. Having a break, coming back to it, realising what a great opportunity it is with it being here in London, I think makes it really special for me.
Now, you being you, when you retired in 2000, you didn't sort of get a bit of a beer belly and retire gracefully. What did you do? You decided to do some more physical challenges.
Yeah, so during the Sydney Games, I noticed we did really well at all sorts of sports. It was a big turning point, I think, for British Olympic sport, and I felt like I'd moved into a role of being a bit more of a senior member of the team, a bit of an ambassador really. So I made a point of catching up with all the gold medalists and just congratulating them and having a chat with them and seeing if there's anything I could do that might be helpful in any way. Anyway, I met up with a number of the GB sailing team, and turned out to be quite good blokes. And one day, one of them phoned me up and asked if I fancied coming out on a big yacht, which they were planning to take to do the America's Cup. So yeah, I went out sailing in the Solent near Cowes, and became an America's Cup sailor for about a year and a half.
Just to explain to the uninitiated, I mean, look at the size of you, for goodness sake. You weren't shooting up and down the main mast, were you?
No, I guess when we put together the America's Cup team, there were a lot of people who were good at shooting up and down the mast, and lots of people who were good at steering the boat and trimming the sails and all this sort of stuff. But there weren't many people who were experienced at standing in the middle of the boat and basically lifting the heavy loads and turning the handles around to make things happen. And having some people who are strong physically but who are also used to being in teams and competing at a high level, they invited me and another guy called Ian Wheel to get involved in grinding. So two of us became America's Cup grinders.
I guess, Greg, as well, I mean, first of all, it's been nearly all your life you've been rowing, so it would seem really weird to just completely stop. And secondly, people like me always ask people like you, why are you carrying on? But frankly, if you can and you enjoy it, why not?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I was looking at last year. I was commentating at the World Championships, looking at the races and thinking, it's great. It's lovely being here commentating. It's nice that you can watch the race, don't have any of the pressure. Afterwards, you can go out and go enjoy the evenings, go and enjoy socialising with people you might have competed against a few years ago and all the rest of it. But I had the idea that maybe I could still be competing, and you're a long time retired. There's lots of opportunities to spend catching up with your mates who you used to race against. If I could do it again, I wanted to do it again. And so I came back off the flight from Poland, and the next day I started training.
Did you really? Gosh. Yeah. Now, I don't want to embarrass you, Greg, but when you started out in 1962 or whenever it was, British rowing in terms of its success was nothing compared to now. Now, obviously, a certain Mr. Redgrave played a part, and then obviously Andy Holmes and then Matt Pinsent, but definitely the Searle brothers. I mean, we're talking 92 when you won that gold, so a lot's changed, hasn't it? And now you're back in a sport which is very much one of the traditional flagship sports for Great Britain at the Olympics. You must be very proud to think that you've played a part, particularly in the initial stages of this success story.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest. Last year at those World Championships, I think I had 5 different conversations with different people who said they'd watched my race and had been part of inspiring them, or they'd heard me speak at their school, or this sort of thing. And that felt great to have been part of inspiring this generation to be competing again, and also to be competing at the level that they are. And that made me feel like I still have more to offer, and that maybe I could still do more with it. So it's lovely if I can be an inspiration in any way to people and part of the next generation of success we've got. But I wouldn't say it's down to necessarily me or any other individuals. I'd say what we've got is a fantastic system now, fantastic facilities like this thing here that we're sitting at today, backed by the National Lottery and backed by Siemens, who fund us to be able to be a really high-level team and create a situation where I'd say now just getting into the team was a lot harder than I thought. But the Great Britain team went to Lucerne, and in our men's heavyweight group, 6 Olympic boats, got 6 medals. That's a real step on for us to be at that level.
Do you get any stick from the young pups? Any grandad, any pops comments?
I get plenty of stick from the young guys, and I think some of it's quite warranted. I am nearly twice some of their ages. The flip side of it is hopefully I've got some experience and some ideas about how we should work best together. Sometimes I try to be the last to speak rather than the first to speak when we sit down and have a conversation, but I generally, I think, have an influence, and I want it to be as positive an influence as I can make it.
And lastly, I'll let you go in a second, Greg, but lastly, as you said, you're not here to get the T-shirt, you're not here even to sort of, make finals or do quite well for your age. You're here to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here to win, and actually, it's again interesting. We are thinking of 2012. 2012 is a massive thing for us, and this World Championships is coming up, and you could say it's a stepping stone on the way. To me, it's massive to be in the World Championships team. It's huge that I've managed to get in the team, and if I can get a gold medal in the Great Britain 8, that would be everything.